What did it teach you?
It taught me to focus on my purpose.
The media are terrified of Pierre Poilievre. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today, I'll be showing you the real reason why they're terrified of him, some data and a graph that anchors this to a point where it's absolutely clear why they're terrified of the guy, why they continually to go after him, $1 million a day of media slander day after day, and it doesn't seem to make a difference here. As the numbers come up for Pierre, carnies are going down. We're heading strong into 2026. Let's jump into this. Starting things off, we're going to keep things a little bit lighter here today, and I should note for the next couple days, I'll only be doing one video a day. I've got a couple big videos coming out, and I'm actually going to take 2 days off, believe it or not. So with that, we've got Brittany posting this one. 67% of Canadians prefer Merry Christmas as greeting despite holiday stress. So with that said, Merry Christmas, everyone. And with Christmas here, we've now found out Aaron Gunn will be staying with the Federal Conservative Party. He's not going to be running for the leader of BC. So that opens the door now to see who's going to come out, because everyone was waiting for Aaron Gunn to announce before they announced they're running for the BC leadership here. So stay tuned for that in the next couple weeks here, which should be pretty interesting. As whoever gets that position, if we get a strong leader can take out David Eby, then we'd have this link. Then we'd have an easier way to build a pipeline to Alberta. Moving ahead here, we got some Christmas messages. We've got Pierre Poilievre with this.
Merry Christmas, everybody. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's a time for music, song, faith, roaring fireplaces, family gatherings, and of course, procrastinating husbands who waited too long to order online and now dread the shopping mall as punishment.
That is true. So Pierre Poilievre posted exactly this going out with his son a couple days before Christmas. On this episode of The Procrastinators, Cruz saves his dad with a clandestine December 22nd shopping mall operation to secure and conceal gifts for deserving and unsuspecting mom just in time for Christmas. You can't honestly tell me that Mark Carney seems like a more wholesome, genuine, better person to vote for than this guy. Come on. Pierre is a real Canadian. He's a normal person. He's not a globalist, arrogant banker like Mark Carney. Look at this video here. A message from Cruz. Merry Christmas.
I want to thank my little boy, Cruz. Cruz came into the basement the very first day it snowed. And I was doing a little bit of exercise, and he said, we need to get the Christmas tree up. It was about November the 2nd. And he loves Christmas so much that his rule was as soon as the snow falls, the tree has to go up. So he is the #1 champion in our home of Christmas. And so my message to all of you is that there is always hope. There is always possibility. Through the redemption of our Savior and through our own good works and deeds, we can bring about a better future for all. So with that feeling of optimism and hope, I wish every single one of you a beautiful and happy and Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
It's a great message. I also had to remove the music there, copyright as usual, but clearly Canadians voted for the wrong guy. And in contrast here, we got the Grinch, Mark Carney. What did he have to say? We all know what's coming here. In all honesty, when I first saw this, I was howling.
Happy holidays, Canada. In a more divided and uncertain world, the holiday season is an opportunity to slow down.
That's right. In a more divided and uncertain world. He couldn't say dangerous and divided. A little too spicy. Let's bring it back a little bit for Christmas. This is his message to Canadians. He goes to Babylon about Christians and family, etc. But this is how he had to open it.
In a more divided and uncertain world.
A more divided and uncertain world. And you notice too, he said happy holidays. Mark Carney's not a Merry Christmas kind of guy. Happy seasons holidays. So Mark Carney's put out a bunch of stuff on his X account. Look at this.
By building here at home and building new partnerships abroad, so that we're not reliant on the United States. To do that, we will have to make some difficult choices, responsible choices.
Oh, really? Mark Carney can keep lying to liberals all he wants. 77% of our trade is with America. You can't replace this overnight. I don't even know you'd be able to replace this ever. Maybe in a decade or two, you could get this down to 50%. It's always going to be a huge portion because they're right next to us. It's not cheaper for us to put stuff on ships and ship it over to Europe to sell it when we can put it on a truck and drive it right over the border. You'd have to be an absolute moron to make Europe our biggest priority trading partner.
Federal government spending has grown massively over the last few years. That's not sustainable.
Yeah, and he just increased it. You can't make this stuff up. Do they realize how dumb the optics of this are? So we're not going to watch the end of this, but let's look what else he posted on here. So he has a couple other videos. This one is just pandering to the military. He's got a phony baloney thing here for Hanukkah. One thing he doesn't really have much of is Christmas, but people are posting this. So this has been showing up in people's mailboxes in Nepean. Look at this thing. It looks like the cheapest, crappiest card you can imagine. And where's his family? He can't take any pictures with his kids? I get it. One of them is probably in the UK, the one that switched teams, but didn't his daughter say she wants to be in politics? He has other kids. They don't want to do a family photo. It's a little bizarre. In other news, only in Alberta. I don't know if this is real or not, but this is funny. I can imagine this is real. It says albertamemes.com. I thought I'd show this clip here from Jasmine's interview with Pierre Poilievre. She did a great job. And what she was able to get in this interview is the answer to what Global News kept on cutting out in their interview. Pierre Poilievre mentioned numerous times, 2 or 3 times, why he's fighting for Canadians. Well, Pierre actually gets the opportunity to answer it here because Jasmine didn't cut it out.
The holidays is a really incredibly happy time, but it can also be a really big reminder of people who are no longer here with you, or of some of what you're experiencing on your own. And so I just wanted to give you an opportunity perhaps to speak to some of those people who are having a really hard time right now.
Well, that's a tough one for anyone. I mean, this is a tough time of year for a lot of people, and I know that a lot of people go into the Christmas season, they're reflecting on losses they've had of loved ones, of financial difficulties. They're stressed about how they're going to make it through another month, and they might be suffering with addiction, which is a really big problem right now. And my message to them is hang on, have hope, help is on the way. There are better days coming. And all of the people I've met who've been through hell have always told me that it was worth persevering. And Churchill famously said he suffered with depression too. He used to call it his black dog. And he said, when you're going through hell, keep going. And so I would say that to anyone who's suffering right now, don't give up, keep fighting on. You will be thankful that you did. And God is not finished with you yet.
That's such a powerful message there. I resonated with that so hard when I first watched this, as my life was completely destroyed 2 years ago, and all of you have been platformed me into a position I never thought I would ever be. So I'm eternally grateful to all of you. Pierre's message here is bang on. It's right on the money. When you're in it, when you're in the middle of all of it, all the chaos going on, you just need to keep going. You need to focus where you need to go. You need to just point yourself in that direction and just push, because eventually you'll break through. You'll get through the madness in life. Whether that's losing a job. I lost a job before Christmas. At one point, I was living on savings. I didn't know what was going to happen. I also got divorced just before Christmas many years ago. There's many times like that. So he's right. Right around Christmas time, you're reflecting on the past year and thinking, well, what went right, but also what went wrong. And usually we focus on the negative. We don't give enough to the positive. So hopefully everyone today can focus more on the positive in life. We have greener pastures in the future here. Mark Carney's numbers are tanking, as we've been seeing in the polling numbers. Pierre is on top. And with that, I have a graph I want to show everyone, which highlights exactly this. If we look at federal polling, we're on Polywave here, Sheree Teest's website. You'll look at the graph and you'll see like it's close. It goes up and down, but it's been close for a while. They keep attacking Pierre Poilievre in the media. You look at a graph like this in 338. This one goes back further. This one goes all the way back until the first of the year. And we're seeing this meteoric rise of when Justin Trudeau left, then the Liberals' numbers neutralized, and then Carney just barely squeaked out the win here. But when you look further back, and we're not talking just a year back, 2, 3, like 10 years back, you can understand why the media is going after Pierre Poilievre. It's all right here. This guy here, this guy's account is Irish Patriot, says updated my Canadian polling graphs. Here's one since the inception of the modern Conservative Party in 2003. So we're talking 22 years. He's mapped it out on a graph, and it makes perfect sense why the media is going after him. We know this, but just seeing it on a graph makes it so much more powerful. I'm going to make it big so you can see. So this is going back to 2003 right here on the far left. Then the different leaders came in and out of here. And look where we are today. Well, who's this? This is Pierre Poilievre. Well, you look across, there's no one else. I mean, a brief moment here in 2009 for one day, but Pierre Poilievre has been sitting on top. This is why they want to get rid of him. They're trying to paint a narrative to get rid of him. Because in reality, even if you look back to Stephen Harper's days, which are right here, I mean, he was only polling just under like 38%. Most of these leaders have been throughout the time here. You have Aaron O'Toole and Andrew Scheer. None of them were even getting close to 40%. We're talking 35 at best. And Pierre was over 40%, 44. Even some of the polls here were hitting 45, 46% just before Trudeau left. left. The real reason the mainstream media going after Pierre Poilievre is he's the most popular leader for the past 30 years. So they'll do anything to try to trick Canadians, sway public opinion because they're terrified of the guy. Pleb said it yesterday in a live stream where he interviewed Pierre Poilievre. He came on for a few minutes to say hi to the people. If Pierre was such a bad leader, then they would want him to stay in that position. So it's so obvious what they're doing here. It's so clear when you look at this and then you go over and you see Poilievre sitting way up here. This is why they want to get rid of the guy. We're in a good position here. No matter what the media is saying, they're trying to paint this narrative that he lost his seat and he should be embarrassed and nobody's following him. He's irrelevant. Nobody's listening. It's all a lie. They're terrified. You got to look too. This is hyper compressed. This is the entire year here. But if you fully update this, you would see the blue line is now matched with the red line here. All the recent polls, they're all tied. And seeing that hope is on the way with everything we've been through this year, just trust the process here. We're going into the next year. We have hope that things will really change in this country. The main thing we have to pray that doesn't happen is Mark Carney getting a dirty deal with 2 more MPs so he can vote unchecked in the House of Commons. And well, that's not where we are at today. So, and as you saw a previous video, Elections Canada preparing for an election. The NDP will soon have a leader. We may just get our country back in 2026. Moving ahead, we've got this. I'm about to be the funniest person at a Christmas party. Yes, so that does look like a power drill. That, in fact, is not a power drill. Don't put any Crown Royal in there or Doug Ford will be pissed. And we got this one. We've got some music in here, which I can't play, but we've got some dogs on a bus, which is always fun. Christmas dogs. I don't know what this is. I believe there's a lady who takes dogs for a walk. Maybe that's what this is. I'm not sure. And we've got another Christmas message here. This is coming from UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
I want to wish you all a very happy Christmas, unless you're a farmer, a pensioner, a pub landlord, or anyone who owns something I've recently discovered I can tax. Across the country tonight, families are gathering, children are excited, and I'm carefully checking whether accepting a free jumper still needs declaring before pudding. Christmas is about Christian values, peace, goodwill, charity, which is why I've spent the year cutting winter fuel, banning pub gardens from having fun, and briefly waging war on the countryside.
Okay, I think we've had enough of that. So this is in fact AI. I don't put AI on the channel, but this is AI, just so it is abundantly clear. Left can't come after me for trying to trick people. It's AI. Now we do have some great news coming out of America. We've got RFK Jr. announcing that Bill Gates has just been indicted. He's been indicted in the Netherlands for lying to the public about the world event Pokies. And with that, he donated $50 million to Kamala Harris's campaign, even though he said he's not partisan. He hasn't donated to any campaign in a long time. They found out through some shell corporations that he was funneling the money through. Now he's going to trial in the Netherlands.
And he's going to have to go to trial. You think that he wants to go to trial here in the United States of America? You think maybe that's one of the reasons he chose to give $50 million to Kamala Harris?
Accountability does feel good. This is a nice Christmas gift. Let's jump back to Pierre Poilievre. He did an interview here with the CCFR. Canada's going through some tough times, but after you saw that data there, his numbers, the media attacking him, this is only a matter of time before we get our country back.
This campaign was particularly unique, whether it was the collapse of the NDP, or, the involvement of the United States, or Prime Minister Trudeau resigning and Carney coming in. It was really like an extraordinary campaign and election. What did it teach you?
It taught me to focus on my purpose, which is to make this a country where anyone can afford food, afford homes, afford to have hope again. And we ran on a campaign of hope. In fact, the polling showed that those who were voting on an impulse of hope were voting for us. So that was positive. But we have to build, some people say, well, you should throw all that away and go to the more fear-based approach of the Liberals. But I don't accept that. I think we need to provide people with hope. Now more than ever, people feel hopeless. And what I worry most about is that Canadians will just accept the unaffordable, dangerous, indebted situation Liberals have created and say, oh, well, I guess there's nothing that can be done. Could be worse. Well, it could be better. And my job is to sell hope that people who work hard, no matter what their beginnings, will be able to have a great life, start a family, launch a business, be rewarded for their success.
Feel like they can do that.
Yeah, feel safe again on their streets.
Right.
Feel safe hopping on the TTC rather than the waitress. I literally just had lunch, and the waitress told me she carries bear spray with her on the TTC because she's so terrified that she's going to be attacked. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And
what's scary about that too is it's illegal in Canada, I believe, to use bear spray on a human. But I mean, if you have to decide between getting attacked by one of these terror lords that the Liberals have let in, or use bear spray and then go to jail for using bear spray, there's two evils there. You have to pick the lesser of the two evils. It's the bear spray to the eyes, kick the guy in the nuts and run. Like, the only option you got. The reason why it's illegal is it's not a self-defense weapon. It's considered a bear deterrent. So you're not allowed, you're not supposed to use it on people. We have it right here. Is bear spray legal in Canada? It says here, is guilty of indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years. So you could potentially get up to 5 years in jail for spraying a terror lord that's attacking you on the train, which is crazy. Now there's dog spray as well, but dog spray is also designated only for dogs. It's basically half the capsaicin that's in the bear spray, the hot peppers. It's half the strength designed for dogs. You dog spray on a person, once again, the same thing. You could be charged for using dog spray on a person. So it doesn't leave Canadians very much options.
my message to her is, you don't have to live like this.
Right.
We can do better than this in Canada.
We have to do better.
And we will do better, and better is what we're running on.
And what would you do day one as Prime Minister in that regard?
Well, I would I would scrap all the Liberal bail and soft on crime laws that have unleashed this chaos. It's a very, very simple problem. I know politicians love to complicate things. People love to say, oh, it's not that simple. Actually, it is really simple. We have a tiny group of criminals who do a phenomenal amount of crime, like literally hundreds of crimes per person. You take them off the street, you put them in jail, and you all of a sudden have a much safer community for everybody to live in. And so you got to scrap Liberal bail, Liberal parole, Liberal catch and release, shut down the borders to criminals. Right now they come in unvetted as part of mass immigration. We're going to shut down unvetted entry of foreign criminals into our country. And that waitress, she's going to be able to get on the TTC and enjoy a podcast or a book.
Totally.
And feel totally safe that she's your podcast, actually.
Without the fear.
Without any fear
mugged,
exactly.
or stabbed or something.
Exactly.
We need that on the horizon for sure.
That's the hope that people have to look forward to.
It's good stuff, good message there. I mean, this should be common sense, but it's not common sense in Canada. Interestingly, Poilievre immediately answers this respectful host about what he learned, as opposite to the caustic female mainstream media awful questions phrased to him to set him up as some sort of loser who needed to change. As this comment referring to global news, that was probably the worst interview I've seen in a long time, definitely in the past year. Pierre represents hope.